I'm trying to catch a cold. Or rather, a cold is trying to catch me. Cheers. A warm drink. A lot has happened. A lot has happened. I am trying a couple of different supplements. You all have suggested so many good and kind things. What I am looking for has to do with, what is it called? The plasticity of the brain. And it seems to me that so far what I have found is actually becoming quite useful. And even though I'm still more forgetful than I need to be, and that's the truth. at least I'm still remembering. You know, even if it takes a few minutes. I have not burned cookies down at the Charleston as often as I used to. That's a good sign. Still not quite as fast as I need to be at the things I do, but I'm remembering most everything right now, and I'm going to take that as a sign of hope. I have submitted a self-referral to the University of Utah for their concussion and traumatic brain injuries department. They have, what is it called? A psychoneurologist who can help me evaluate about where I am and help me to deal with some of the problems that are starting to arise. But to me right now, the most important thing is how I feel inside here. I feel full of love. I feel full of generosity and the want to be helpful and serving to my fellow man. I'm going to nurture this and the continuing idea that as I get older I shall approach childhood even more. So in that light, such as I am, I have discovered something called ecstatic dancing. Oh my goodness. This is something where you move at your own pace, in the privacy of your own heart, privacy of your own mind. It is a space that is opened to anyone. Bring your children, bring your grandparents, whoever you like. And music is played that takes you through a series of movements guided only by you, only by your heart, your mind. What was that? Mouse, I'll bet you it's a mouse. Anyway, and in this space, there's a phone call trying to come through. All right. I had to wait till they'll leave me alone for a minute. Anyway, in this space, making sure I'm still running, in this space you are allowed to be free to express yourself, you know. And that's what I do. I close my eyes. You are allowed to dance with somebody. You are also allowed to not dance with somebody. I close my eyes and feel my own heartbeat. I close my eyes and allow the movement of my body to the music. It is very good exercise. It seems to cover the psychology of freedom, the psychology of allowing yourself to be open. You'll be observed probably, but the persons or whoever observes you is also doing the same thing. So there's a lot of joy. There's a lot of happiness in this expression. And these people, this community, Salt Lake City dancers, I believe they call themselves, they're very loving and kind. They're very open to even one as silly as me out there, probably looking silly, but really enjoying myself. It is as social as you would like it to be. It is as personal as you would like it to be. It is also interpersonal. They have taught me how to breathe in certain ways, and I found that the breathing, that the breathing techniques not only help my mind to feel better and my body to feel better, but it actually oxygenates the blood. And I have felt the same tingling in my toes and fingers and around the edges of the back of my head and shoulders as I did when I was in the hyperbaric chamber. The only difference is no pressure to the eyes. Oh my gosh. That was pretty startling to have that happen. But this is a kinder, gentler way of doing that because I'm allowed to pass through it as easily or with as much, compunction as I like. I suggest you think about the movement that you do in everyday life. If you like music, and well, I love music, obviously, let it move you. Let it bring the images to your mind and the sway to your body. And if you're a person who is incapacitated, let it move your mind and relax your thoughts. A long time ago, I had a very severe infection to my brain. It was not encephalitis, I believe is what it's called, but it was something of an infection. And the pain between my eyes was so tremendous that I couldn't even move. Well, anyway, it happened to be Christmas, and a dear friend of mine at that time gave me a Sony Walkman. Gave me a Sony Walkman. And I turned it on and I found music that I really liked. And I plugged into it. And I had heard once, a long time ago, that pain also is received in the brain at the same place as music is. And that if I turned up the music to meet the pain, that I could then slowly turn the both of them down. And I had nothing to lose to try this. I was incapacitated. And so I did. And I turned the music up in my ears until something happened and I didn't feel the pain. And then slowly I turned it down. Now, I could not get rid of the pain, but I did make it more tolerable until the end of the weekend when I could go to a doctor. And he gave me a prescription of really strong antibiotics of some kind. And about 7 days later, I felt much better. But I used that after that, especially when I was working hard. If I had a lot of work to do, I'd plug in. And I understand when I see the young people with their headphones on and their earplugs in. I encourage people to participate in life and not step completely away from it, totally isolated. But I also encourage occasional enjoyable trips in music. I do. I think our love for music is part of who we are and part of our love in general towards each other in the best way that we can. So, I'm working on a new project. I'm working on a project that has to do with, well, basically this. The holding of hands, sometimes in prayer, sometimes in love. This connection. I look at it and I feel my fingers touch each other. But if I close my eyes, I feel something more. And generally, if I reach out and take someone's hand, or if I rest my hand upon them in some gentle way, I feel love from my heart passing to them. Not strong, not overbearing, just gentle and soft. And I wish that for you, for Christmas. If I could give you anything at all, I would give you this. I remember when I worked with older special needs people, and some of them were coming to the time of passing. Sometimes they couldn't talk to us. They were close and they were scared, but to reach out, take their hand ever so gently, it seemed to make a difference in how they felt in that moment. I suggest it's not always about words. Sometimes it's only about presence. Sometimes people can't talk about what they feel, but some of us can feel what they feel anyway. I think it would be a beautiful gesture. And if you can't actually touch the ones you care about, that same feeling that you have when you do touch somebody, send that to them. Send that feeling to them. People can't always receive in the way you wish they could, just as some people can't give in the way you wish they could. But honestly, if it's love, it doesn't stop. It does not diminish the love because you're over here and they are over there. There are those who do not talk to me for reasons of their own and probably valid. I have not always been a good person, even though I've tried. I still love them. I still cherish them deep in my heart, and that will not stop. I cherish you. I love you. I do not know you, but I feel you. Every time you leave a comment or I put one of these videos out, and I wait, kind of anxiously sometimes, to see how you feel about it, because it guides me where I need to go the next time. I feel you. I feel your words. Words are so important. And this is just as important. This is just as important. And I send that to you for Christmas and for every day, for all days. Holiday, no holiday, I don't care. You need to know that you are loved and accepted as you are. And if you walked up to me on the street as a perfect stranger, I would still feel that way. And I promise you, if I feel led to give you a big hug, I will. I will. And even if you're, I don't know, scary in some way. First of all, I'm not scared. I'm really not scared. But I will look into you. And I will look into your eyes. And I will see the hurt that made you the way you are. And even if I don't know the details, I will send that hurt love. Even if you never speak to me, we just pass on the street, and I see that. You will find love in my eyes. And I will try not to, what is the world? I will try not to go too deep into what I feel without your permission. But I will look. I do feel it all around me, in crowds especially. Anyway, I just want you to know that I love you, sincerely, deeply, with all my heart. And I wish you happy holidays. I know these are tough for some people. But I wish you that love. This love. This love. This love. This love. And like all the young people tell me, this love. But I like this one. This one's my favorite. Pew. Pew, 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 pew. Little hearts. Take care, my friends. Thank you for all your kind words. Every one of them reach me. It takes me forever. So many of you now. I have letters that I have not even sent yet that are waiting to be sent. That's how far behind I have fallen. Partly health, partly work, partly whatever. But it does not take away from my gratitude and my love for all that you say to me, that you send to me, everything. Everything used for everything good I can think of. Talk to each other. Create the community that you would love to be a part of. Let's hold that up and uplift each other. Scratchy throat. I love you.